Christians and Muslims have been fighting for thousands and years. That it began with the Jews, and it has evolved in a sense to include Christians. However, I often wonder, where did this begin? What are the origins, and why are we still fighting? And I want to share with you my findings and to let you know the origins of this conflict. So in order for us to learn, we have to go to the book of Genesis in the Holy Bible. In Genesis, the word of God says that Abraham and his wife Sarah were promised to be the descendants of a great nation. However, Abraham became very old, and his wife Sarah was old as well. And they realized that maybe God forgot what he said, and that God needs help to achieve this blessing. So Sarah told Abraham to sleep with their maid. Her name was Hagar. And they slept together and had a son called Ishmael. But after some time, Sarah felt some kind of way of having Hagar in the house. So what she did was she told Abraham to get her out of the house immediately. And eventually she left with her son Ishmael. And as she sat there in a place of leaving the house, the angel of the Lord came to her and said, listen, the Lord sees you, and your son Ishmael is going to be blessed. Ishmael will always have riches and have different financial blessings over his life and all of his descendants. And then this helps us find the term Jehovah Elroy, the God who sees. Because despite in her situation and being excluded from her home and having an exile from her home in essence, the Lord still saw her and sent an angel to speak to her. Eventually, Hagar was told to go back home and serve Sarah. And after about 14 years of this incident, the Lord then came back to Abraham and said, listen, by this time next year, you will be a father. And Sarah laughed, and this child was eventually known as to be named as Isaac. Isaac is the child of promise. Isaac, they call him Isaac because the one who made you laugh. That's what the word Isaac means. But Isaac is the one that the promises that of the Lord fell upon him and his descendants, which became the Jews, and by faith, us Christians. So in essence, Ishmael and Isaac are stepbrothers. However, Ishmael is the descendants of the Muslims, of the Arabs. He is the one that sits here and has the blessing as to where he lives. He is the one who sits here and has the financial blessings. This is why in these countries you see oil being produced and they have so much millions and billions of dollars. This is a result of the promise that God made to the mother of Ishmael, Hagar, that Ishmael and his descendants will constantly have financial riches and blessings. However, the promise that the Lord initially made to Abraham fell upon Isaac and his descendants. So the child of the promise became Isaac. So the source of tension is that Muslims feel that they are the firstborn of Abraham. So the promises of God should be upon the life of Ishmael. And Christians and Jews believe that these promises are reserved for the descendants of Isaac, who is the child of promise according to Genesis chapter 22. And he's the firstborn of Abraham and Sarah. So this is the source and origin of the conflict between Jews and Muslims, because this has evolved to a fight over land and other type of conflict, but the origins of the separation, the origins of their division is the fact that Sarah and Abraham disobeyed God and tried to take matters into their own hands. And now thousands of years later, these stepbrothers are fighting. This shows the consequence of disobedience, that God does not need help for us to accomplish his promises. We have to trust the Lord. Even though it seems late and crazy, God is going to come through, because your disobedience could affect those that come after you, not just you. I pray that you're blessed and you learned something through this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you for your support. God bless you. I love you. Peace.